All right, hi everybody. This is for category number 3 and puzzle number 27. Very important at puzzle. So we're going to talk about factoring first. So to factor a quadratic, you're going to do this. We've done something very similar, but I want to make sure everybody reviews and understands how to do this. So essentially to factor, we're trying to figure out undo this to get the binomials, which we've multiplied before. So to do that, I like to use the X method. So in the X method, you're figuring out this piece to get this part. This is the C, then a number we underline, the number without X or Y, and then the other number here is the B. Now you add these numbers to get the B, and you multiply the same numbers to get the C. That's how we do that. And that gives you the factors, and then the factors give you the zeros. So let's do an example. Copy, 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 please. So here's my example. Let's say we have x squared plus 13x plus 40. Okay, so I'm going to make my x. And so this is the C, because it doesn't have x or y. And my B, the one that just has the x, is 13. So that means I'm finding two numbers. When I add them, it equals to 13. When I multiply the same numbers, it equals 40. So what I do is I think about, okay, well, what multiplies to give me 40? Here are my factors. 1 and 40. 1 times 40 is 40. 2 and 20. Not 3, because it needs to be a whole number. 4 and 10. 5 and 8. Not 6. Not 7. And 8 is already on there. So now I'm going to add them to see if one of these gives me 13. If I add 1 and 40, I get 41. 2 and 20 is 22. 4 and 10 is 14. 5 and 8 is 13. So my factors are 5 and 8. Because if I add 5 plus 8, I get 13. If I multiply 5 times 8, I get 40. So my answer would be x plus 5 and x plus 8. If they were negative, I'd put minus. So to get the zeros, which we've done, I'll show you how to do that. So we've done this, okay, to get the zeros. So this is how to get the factors. So what we've done is we've used the calculator to do this. And you can do this as well to check your answers. So it was x, click on the little keyboard, squared plus 13x plus 40. Okay, so look, I have a 0 at -5, which is the opposite of this one. And then the other 0 is going to be at -8, because they're equal to 0. To solve for them, you do the opposite. So, where'd it go? There's the other one at -8. How you can check your answers is by typing it in there. X plus 5. And look, it goes right through the heart, the 0. And if I want to check it, let's say that I got it wrong and I put x plus 7. Look, it doesn't go through this cross, through this x, through the heart. If you change it to 8, it does. That's a way to check your work. You just type them in there and you see if they go through the hearts. If they don't, then you know that you did something wrong. Okay, so let's do another example, and then you're going to do an example. What about x squared plus 7x plus 12? Make my x. So my C, the one that doesn't have x or y is 12, so it goes here. Then the one that has the x, but not the squared, is 7. Oh my god, I just put them in the wrong spot. Should be 7, because that's the b, and the c goes on top, which is the 12. So I'm finding two numbers. When I add them, I get 7. When I multiply them, I get 12. So what are the factors of 12? 1, 12, 2, 6, 3, 4, not 5. 6 is already on here. So I add them. 1 plus 12 is 13, so it's not 7. 2 plus 6 is 8, not 7. 3 plus 4 is 7. So those are my factors, 3 and 4. X plus 3 and x plus 4. All right, so what I would like for you to do is stop, get on the calculator, and check if they're correct. So to check if they're correct, here's what you do. Close out of here, close it up here, close it up here. Type in x squared plus 7x plus 12. So you check my work. I got x plus 3 and x plus 4. So you're going to put those in the graphing calculator, and they're supposed to cross through here. If they don't, then I did something wrong. So you type this in. You type this in right here, type it, and then did I do it correctly or not? So let's see, x plus 3 goes through right there. X plus 4 goes right there. So yes, I did it correctly. So let's do an example. Let's do number 'So what I want you to do is I want you to factor this one. So first thing, what is the C? What is the B? So you're finding two numbers that multiply to give you the C and two numbers that add to give you the B. Then you're going to make a list, add them, and see which one gives you the correct answer. That's one way you could do it. The other way, you could put this in your graphing calculator, put those in there, and see which one is one of the zeros. So I'm going to pause, and I want you to find the factors. So let's do this. Let's put this in the calculator. Let's check your work. So I'm going to put that in there, x squared minus 5x minus 6. So I'm going to zoom out. Okay, there's my 0. There's my other 0. So I'm going to put these in here, and we'll see which one crosses through one of these points. It doesn't have to cross through both of them, just one. So x minus 6. Ooh, there we go. So that's my factor. Because if you put 2, it doesn't cross through this or that. If you put the 3, doesn't cross through them. If you put the 1, doesn't cross through it. So this one has to be my factor because it goes through right there. So now I want you to try one by yourself. Let me find it. Which one I want you to try. Oh, wait. I need to pause the video. All right, so you do this one. Tell me which ones are the factors for this one. Same way I showed you, put them in the graphing calculator. Put the first one in the graphing calculator, put the next one in the calculator, and see which one. But they both, this one has two of them, so they both have to cross through the heart. And the hearts go through the x-axis. So try it. All right, let's see if you are correct. So I'm going to put this in here. 2x squared plus, is it reading again? Plus 7x plus 4 put the first one in there, 2x minus 1. Does it go through the cross? No. Look, it crosses over here and needs to be over there. So nope. So we know the first one's out. Let's try the second one. So plus 1. Does it go through it? No. The second one has the same one, so it's going to be none of those. None of those go perfectly through right here or right there. So that one would be none of those. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you another calculator strategy. At the end of this video, you're going to have to answer some questions so I can see, can you do this by yourself? All of these, you'll watch me, and you can check if you're doing them right. Now, let's do another one. We've done this before. Let me show you the problem. But let's just say you are struggling a little bit and you're not really sure. It's been a minute. Okay, let's say you get to this one. And what you need to do is you need to multiply, squiggly, underline, move everything. Okay, let's just say you get stuck and you want to check your work. So what you're going to do, this is just to check your work, is you're going to put this, when it says equivalent, it means which one has the same graphs. So I'm going to make a graph for this one, and I'm going to type in the other ones, and I'm going to see which one has the same graph. Because if they're the same graph, then they're going to look, if they're equivalent, that means that they're the same. So let's put this in the graphing calculator. So close out here, 2x squared plus parentheses 4x minus 6x squared plus 9 minus parentheses 6x plus 3. Okay, so that's what it is. So let's type in the first one and let's see, are they the same graph? Now, you should be working this out on paper, but this is a way to check your work. So if I just graph them and they are the same graph. Because look, if I type in, oh, that was G. Oops, I skipped. If I type in F, look, they're not the same graph. You see that they're two different graphs. If you type in H, oh no. I just deleted everything. Oops. Okay, so if I type in H, I'm put negative 10x plus 6. I'm going to get a totally different graph. And that way I know when it says equivalent, you're looking for which one has the same graphs. So now I want you to practice. Let's look at, let me pause it because, okay, so now I want you to try with this one. So they're asking you which one's equivalent. So put this in the graphs, then type in each one of these and see which one is the exact same graph. So tell me which one's the exact same graph. Pause this until you put this in your graphing calculator. So you're going to type this in here. Exactly as it is. Where's the fraction? I thought it was almost right there. Okay, I don't know, but I'm going to write 2 over 3. Yes, good. Move over, parentheses. It has to look exactly like it. And we're using X, not the whatever letter it gives you. Okay, so there it is. So I'm going to type in the first one. Move over. Okay, see how those are not the same? Look, if they were the same, they'll like match up perfectly. Those do not. So let me type in the next one. If it's too confusing, you can close out of it, but if it's not too confusing, you can leave it on there. Okay, so see that one, not the same because this is the original. So I'm gonna close out of those, close out of those. They did not match up. Let's try the next one. Okay, do they match up? Yes, so that's your answer. Okay, so let me have you practice with one. All right, so try this one. So this one, it tells you to combine, which means to add. So you're going to add those into one, and then you're going to see which one of these is the same if you were to add them. Put in your graphing calculator, pause this until you're done. So if you're not sure what I meant, you're going to type in the first one, 1/2 x squared plus 7/2. Then you're going to combine, which means add. You're going to add the other one, 3x squared minus 4/5 x plus 1/4. Okay, so there's the original, and then you're going to type in the other ones. So let me type in the first one, 7/2 x squared minus 4/5 x plus, 15/4. Oh, look, they ended up being the same one. Woo! I don't have to check the other ones. But if you want to, I can check the other ones. Watch. I changed this one to B. Oops. If I change it to B, they're not the same. So that's what you can do to make sure anytime it says equivalent, put those in the calculator, see what you get. Now let me show you another one. All right, so for this one, this is to check your work. And so what you're going to see is we need to write out all, if it says a to the 4th, that means you write out a 4 times. If it's negative, that means it switches positions. Okay, so let me show you this one, and I'm going to show you how you can also check your work. All right, so it's 4. Oh no, my marker dried up. So that means that for this one, you're going to write A 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. B 6 times. That means B is multiplied by itself 6 times. And then the C is negative, so that means you switch it. So it goes to the denominator, and it's 10 of them. Okay. The A is negative, so it switches to the top. When it's negative, it means it switches positions. B is positive, it stays at the bottom. Negative doesn't mean it's always at the bottom. Negative just means it switches. So if it's down, it goes up. If it's up, it goes down. The C is negative, so it goes up. Now, we make ones, so we can reduce them to ones if we have 2 of the same kind. So like here, we have 3 B's. You can reduce 3 of them. So now you just have 3 at the top because I've reduced these 3. I have 5 C's. I have 5 C's here, so I can reduce them. What's left is 5 C's and 6 A's. So that means my final answer is A to the power of 6 because there are 6 of them. I have 3 B's, so B cubed, and then C to the power of 5. Okay, so let's see which one has that. It's either going to be, oh, there's your answer. Let me show you how you can check your work. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to go to Desmos. This is only to check your work. You're going to go to Desmos, and for every letter, you're going to substitute it for a number. You start with 3. You don't start with 0, you don't start with 1, you don't start with 2 because those are special numbers. There are special properties to those numbers. So you start with 3 and then 4 and then 5. Okay? So we're going to put them in the calculator, and then we're going to type in our the one that's in the question and then the answer choices, and we see which one is the same one. Okay, so this is to check our work. So let's just say, because if you leave off one of these, you could get it wrong. So let me do this so you can check your work. So we start with A. A equals a first non-special number, 3. Then B is 4, and so forth. If you have 10 letters, you store however many letters. Okay, you put them in the calculator. I'm going to now put the one in the question, which was 14 A to the power of 4, and then B, no. B was to the power of 6. It takes a little bit of time, but I do not want to get this wrong when I could have just put it in the calculator. Over 8, A to the power of -2, B to the power of +3, and then C to the power of -5. Okay, so that's what I'm getting. Okay, so then I'm going to type in what I got, what the answer choice is for A. So it's A 7 over 4, 2 squared B cubed. Okay, let's put that in there. This is to check our work, just in case. I mean, what was it? A squared, and then it was B to the power of 3. Oops. Over C to the power of 15. So notice those are not the same. So that's how I know like A would not be correct. But let's check my answer. I said when I did this by hand, I got, I think it was H. So let's check if I did it correctly. This is, remember, check our work. 7A to the power of 6. B to the power of 3 over 4, and then to the power of 5. So notice my answer is the same as the one in the question. All I did was I substituted a number for every letter, and then I used that. So now I want you to do an example just like the one I did. So what I would like for you to do is try this one. Remember, right here we just have one letter, so you're going to store that number for that letter, and then you're going to type in the one in the problem and then type in the answer choices. So stop and try it. Okay, so how many letters do we have? We just have one. What's the number that we use to store? 3, because it's the first non-special number. So I'm going to clear all. You have to clear all because you already have stored something. So we're going to put x equals 3. And then I'm going to type in the one from the problem. 7. I'm going to have to write this down because I might forget. And then if you type it in wrong, you have to type it in exactly as it is. So with all the parentheses, everything that goes along with it. Okay. So it was parentheses 7x. You can do this, just don't be, the only way that you could get this one wrong is honestly just by being lazy. You don't want to be lazy. You can get these right. Remember, this is required for graduation. You can get a lot of these right. Okay, so I put it in there. That's my answer. So let's check for A. So A is 14x to the power 10. Okay, so let me type this in here. It was 14x to the power of 10. Okay, so those are not the same. That's not my answer. Check the next one. To the power of 49. Was it? No, it was 10. Is that my answer? Woohoo! See how they're the same as the one in the question? But I'll show you the other ones just to make sure everybody gets it. You type them in. Not the right answer. I mean, we already know this because I got the one that's just like the one in the question. See, not the same. So the only ones that are the same, that's how you know. So next, what I would like for you to do. Okay, so let's review. What about this one? If they say which one's equivalent, what calculator strategy can you use? Is it the store one? Is it, which one else did I show you? To put it, to see the zeros, or to put them into graphs and see which one is the same? Put them in the graph, see which one's the same. So try it. Pause, put them in the calculator, see which one's the same. So we clear it, type in the first one. Okay, there's our first one. Type in the second one. Equivalent means they're the same. So let's see which one's the same. Okay, that one you can tell, hopefully, those are not the same, right? Like those are not the same. So let's try the next one. Are they the same? No. Let's try the next one. Are they the same? Yes, so that's your answer. Okay, let's try another one. Okay, so do the same thing here. What strategy? Do I store numbers? Do I see if they go through the zero, or do I check if they're the same graph? You check if they're the same graph, so try it. Do we use M? No, we use X. So type in the first one, type in exactly as it is. If you don't put those parentheses, it's going to mess you up. Are they the same? They are. That's all you have to do. So now I want you to practice with these examples. I'm going to put them on here. Pause. Don't put the answer until you're ready, okay? Don't put the answer until you're ready. I'll show you which ones I would like for you to do. First one. So try it. Use the strategies I just showed you. Do your best. Treat this like if it was a real STAAR test. I can help you. What about this one? What is the answer for this one? Think about the strategies. Try this one. Use the strategies I showed you. Okay, try this one. Okay, try that one. Try this one. Try this one. Try this one. So we're going to review them. So you'll do the ed puzzle. We did some examples, do the ed puzzle, and we're going to come back and review them at the end of class. Let's see if you got them right. See you later.